Hello dear viewers, my name is Rakesh and I'm your host here with the video. The topic is Euro USD and GBP USD technical analysis. Today is 27th of September 2021. I want to introduce myself as a Gbpchf community member. I say I am a community member because I am not an employee of Gbpchf. So all the views or the trading ideas that we are going to discuss in this video will be of my own, and as the name suggests, we will be carrying out the technical analysis of the euro against the US dollar and the British pound against the US dollar. If the time permit, we will also carry out the technical analysis of the other major pairs, and we'll also take in a few other pairs. For example, Brent, that is crude oil, USD CHF, Euro GBP, gold, silver, Gbp Jpy, CHF Jpy, Euro AUD, Euro New Zealand, CHF index, and we will also see Euro CHF and Gbp CHF and Bitcoin at the end. In this session, we will be strictly talking about the technical aspects of trading. As a technical analyst, I know that every piece of information, whether it is political or fundamental, is already priced into the chart. So I will try to follow the charts only for analysis. In this program, we will only be using the candlestick charts. There are other forms of charts also, like line chart, area chart, and bar charts, but we will try to only follow the candlestick charts. We will also try to find out the key levels for all pairs, and we'll see how we can trade from them. Now, if you are new to the technical analysis, I would request you to go to our channel's homepage and then select the playlists and search for the profitable candlestick patterns playlist or the profitable chart patterns playlist. There are two playlists by these names. If you go through those playlists first, you will learn a lot about the profitable chart patterns and profitable candlestick patterns. If you go through them, it will help you in understanding what we talk about in this program. Last but not least, everything that I say in this webinar or the video is for your information or your knowledge only. You should do your own research before you put your money on the line. With this standard introduction, let us go through the risk disclaimer. Alright, so after flashing this risk disclaimer, we are supposed to go to a chart. So right now, the first chart that is there on your screen is dollar index. So this dollar index is having a daily chart as flashed, and on Friday this was trying to give us a symmetrical triangle on the lower time frames. So we were thinking that which way there is a possibility of the index to move, and because there was an uncertainty, and then price came back to the 93.18, which was our zone of support because it was a previous zone of resistance here. So we were thinking that this will act as a support if the price goes above this, and after this 4-hourly candle closing higher than this, the price took support at 93.18 level and then broke above this falling trend line. That is very short term trend line on the 4-hour chart, joining the highs here and here. And after closing higher than this, now this line, this is dynamic line on 4-hour, it is trying to give us support in this market. So even now the price is trading at the trend line, and also notice that if you join this low with this low, then we get another line, and that line seems to be coming very close to the price now. And here we have the confluence of two supports. One is this falling trend line and one is this rising trend line. So if the price holds for another 8 hours or so, like till 2100 hours as per my time frame, so this is now 16:30. This candle is about to close in 26 minutes, so there are 2 candles remaining. So at least 1 candle it should hold. So if the price holds for 4 hours and 30 minutes here, then it can head higher towards 93.73. So right now the immediate support for the dollar index is 93.18 and the immediate resistance is at around 93.73. Now Euro USD. In Euro USD on Friday we saw a candle closing at around 1.1718. Today's opening was higher, but it broke the lows of yesterday and saw the lows of day before yesterday also. So the day before yesterday the low was at around 1.1683 level, and today the low was at around 1.1684, almost of the same level. Now if you switch to the 4-hourly chart, you will see that these two lows are of almost same level. So why not to draw a double bottom pattern here? Now if you don't know about the double bottoms, you can go and check Investopedia, Baby Pips or some website which explain double bottom, or you can go through our playlist, and in that if you search for profitable chart patterns, you will get a double bottom pattern. So what is the meaning of double bottom? That if the price is in a downtrend and it makes a low and makes a reaction high and fails to make a low lower than this, but makes a low which is approximately of same height or of almost same price as it is here, and breaks the reaction high, the previous reaction high that the price had created like this. If it breaks, then this is a confirmed double bottom breakout. And how we are supposed to trade it? We are supposed to trade it at the break, okay, at the break, but not immediately at the break. As a more conservative way is to trade it when the price comes to retest this broken resistance, to test it as a fresh support. In that case, our approximate target for this one is the high of the reaction plus this low or the depth of the lows. So here if you find this as the first low and this is the reaction high and this becomes the second low, then if I start comparing it with this one, then this area here becomes your reaction high, or you can say the neckline. And if you want to include this high or this area 1.1751, so why not to make it exactly here? So if you see that the price going higher than this, if you see price going higher than this and coming back to this area to test it as a fresh support, then look for a buying opportunity somewhere here, okay, somewhere here, to open the long position with a small stop loss below this trend line or below this 1.1751 region. But open a position only if you find that there is a sufficient reward waiting for you and the risk should be small. So ideally the risk to reward ratio should be 3 or more. If it is not 3 or more, then you should not open that position. I hope you understood this part. If you have any questions regarding this, I would encourage you to ask those questions in the comment section and look forward for a reply from the account called as Rakesh Kumar, because I will be answering as Rakesh Kumar. Alright, so right now you can see that after making this double bottom, which is not a confirmed pattern yet, the pattern confirms only at the break of this reaction high. So till the time price does not break 1.1751 region, we cannot say that the double bottom is confirmed. But if you see that this is a support level of 1.1700 and we can see a bullish pin bar forming on the 4-hour chart, and the candle is going to close in next 21 minutes. So if you find a bullish pin bar here right at the support of 1.1700, which is also a psychological handle, then the Euro USD may be up for testing 1.1727 and 1.1751, and in the process, if it is able to make a good close above 1.1751, then look for another buying opportunity near 1.1751 to test 1.1800 and 1847 in the process. I hope that is clear. So let us move on to the next pair, which is Great Britain pound against the US dollar. So since we are above and ahead of this market here, so I will just remove all this. Okay, so here this Fibonacci we had created to spot the entry, and the price has already taken its targets a lot more than what it was supposed to take. So here the market is suggesting that after making a move lower, actually price failed to make a lower low than this one. Here the low was at around 1.3632. The low of this candle was 1.3602, okay, and the low of this candle was 1.36099, and low of this candle was 1.36126. So ideally what I mean to say is that essentially that this low has not yet been broken, and this is a higher low. So you can say that the buyers are still aggressive and sellers are not sufficient to overpower the buyers. But I strongly believe that if the price is able to make its journey towards 1.3795 or 1.3800 region once at least, then a lot more sellers who are looking at this falling channel, those who are looking at this triangle, those who are looking at these supports which may turn into resistance, they all are looking for these lines to open their fresh short positions. If the price is able to make it here by 28th of September, that is tomorrow or day after maybe, then this will attract a lot of sellers into the market, and they may push the price down towards 1.3664 and 1.3572 also in this market. But right now, if you ask me, then 1.3664 is the support area, and 1.3768 is the immediate resistance for the Great Britain pound against US dollar. Looking at the 4-hour chart, though it looks like a bullish engulfing and bullish pin bar on the support, so 1.3768 is worth watching. But here this high at around 1.3751 of yesterday of Friday may offer some resistance and invite some sellers here. But 1.3768 is which I am more interested in, because here after making this high here, the price has failed to make a lower low. So it may be like the price is trying to take this resistance as fresh support now and is trying to push higher. So maybe 1.3768 will be tested once before we see a price moving lower or maybe breaking higher. Talking about the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar, on Thursday we saw the price coming back to 50% of this rise here, and then a lot of buyers started jumping in, but buyers jumped in and made a high of around 0.7092, only around 7 to 8 pips shy of 0.7100. But after that, the next day the price opened almost at the closing and made a low which was around 0.7000. So after making that low, the price opened lower and closed higher. Not closed yet, actually is trading higher. But you remember that day before yesterday, or say on Thursday, the price made a low at around 0.6981. Now the psychology behind this price action here is that once the price started falling, the sellers were aggressive. They were so aggressive that they gave us a bearish pin bar here. But the next day, the follow-up did not happen. Even if it had, there were a lot of buyers who were ready to open their long positions at around 50% of the retracement from this to this. So those buyers were able to push the prices higher at around 0.7092, but there the sellers jumped in and they pushed the price back to 0.700 region. Although the sellers failed to make a low which was lower than Thursday's low, and Thursday's low was 0.69814. So you can say that at these higher levels the sellers are aggressive, and at these lower levels the buyers are aggressive. Now this tug of war may continue for many days, or we can wait and see which side loses. Now whichever side loses and the price starts moving in that direction, whichever side loses this tug of war, the price tends to start moving in that direction. So in case the buyers lose here, the price will start going towards downside, and in that case, if the low of this candle is broken, which in my opinion is most probably the stop loss of so many buyers right now, if those stop losses gets triggered, the stop loss in a buy position is a sell order. So many sell orders will be triggered, pushing the price down again, and it can bring an avalanche of destruction for New Zealand dollar against the US dollar, and we can see 0.6916 in this market soon. But for that to happen, we need a closing below 0.6981 on the daily closing basis. I hope you get my point. On the other hand, if you see that the buyers were able to push the prices all the way up till here, and then sellers became aggressive, but in this case, if the buyers are somehow able to close the day higher than 0.7083, or to be more sure, higher than the high of this candle, which was at around 0.7092, that will mean that all the sellers who try to jump in at this place have been now sent out of the market, and now that means that buyers are in control of the market. So in that case, we can see 0.7104 and 0.7151 in this market soon. So this is what I want to say, that a close below 0.6987 or the low of this candle, or above 0.7083 or a high of this candle, will provide us the way ahead. Right now, New Zealand dollar is consolidating between the support and resistance zone. Talking about the Australian dollar, same thing here. Today we are seeing an inside bar. Yesterday there was a high which was also in line with these resistances here. Actually, I should make it on my chart. Okay, this is the area which we were looking for. I must reduce the width. Okay, so this is an important level, and now this here is also an important level where the price is trading right now. 0.7286 is the mark where the price is trading, or where we have put the marker. 0.7289, yeah. So till the time price is consolidating, we cannot be sure, but if we see a closing higher than the candle on 22nd of September, or for that matter on 23rd of September, or the low which is lower than 0.7221, then we will have a clear direction as to where the price is headed. So if it closes below 0.7221, we can see 0.7105 in this market soon. On the contrary, if it closes the day higher than 0.7315, we can see 0.7426 in this market. Talking about the US dollar against the Japanese yen, after a long period of consolidation here and there, the price in the last trading session finally closed the day higher than this rectangular resistance zone, and today it has been successful in testing that broken resistance as fresh support, and the price was sent back to 110.94. although it has made an intraday high of 1.06. We are expecting the price to keep moving higher. Why? Because we have the next level of resistance at around 111.63 zone. So this is the area where we are expecting some resistance. Right now there is no resistance on the way. So the next resistance is at around 111.63, support is at around 109.57 area, and this here 110.52 to 110.59 area is also going to be a good support for the price in the coming time. Talking about the US dollar against the Canadian dollar, I am bearish now on this one, not because it has closed below this, but if you see a weekly candle of the US dollar against the Canadian dollar, you will see that there has been a bearish engulfing and a bearish pin bar at the resistance, and today there was a fresh week and it has started going down by moving lower than the yesterday or the last week's low. The low of the last week was at around 1.2633 area, and if you see the daily chart, 1.2633 was here, and the price today was able to break below this. And let us see on the 4-hour. I want to show you 1.2633. This was the area, and after breaking below this today, the price tried to find some support at this area, but again the sellers are ready to sell their positions below 1.2633. and if today for any reason, if they are able to make a close below 1.2633 area, that is this one, or the area that we have marked like 1.2628, that will open the way for 1.2586 in the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. And if it is able to make a close below 1.2586, then we can see 1.2493 also in this market. On the contrary, if we saw that the price is able to close higher than 1.2633, that will indicate that 1.2724 is also possible in this market. Talking about the Brent is giving us no surprises. After this break here, after break of this trend line to higher side, we have already expected the price to consolidate a bit before it makes fresh move. And on 1 hour or 4 hour, we had made a downtrending channel, and I had told you that once this channel breaks to the upside, you should be looking for the buying opportunities, and the price has already moved almost $5 from the time of break till now. Yeah, almost $5, and this is a huge move already, and we are expecting actually 86 levels in this market to be achieved soon. Yeah, 86.71. so there's a long way to go. I don't know exactly where the resistance can come, but 86.71 is technically the next level of resistance, and the support is now 77.80 in this market. Talking about the USD CHF is slowly moving towards our target. It is not actually our target, but it is a place where we are looking to open the sell positions. Now I think we are ready to open a channel by joining these here and these here. So anytime the price closing below this channel, I think that will be our confirmation to open short position. I want to open the short position as close to this falling channel's resistance line. In fact, I want this resistance line to get tested once so that I can open my sell positions with a small stop loss higher, and I want to target for this lower channel's support line. I think this is a good idea. I'm sure that this can be my trade of the year if this plan happens and this plan occurs as I am thinking about, because I'm thinking about the test of this channel to be giving us a bearish pin bar or maybe a bearish engulfing candle on the daily chart. If that happens, I will go short in this market. So right now the resistance is at 0.9274 and the support is at around 0.9241. Talking about Euro GBP, the Friday was a bearish candle, and then not bearish candle. Thursday was a bearish candle. Friday there was consolidation and inside bar. Today it opened higher but is trading lower than yesterday's or last trading day's lows. So already it is into the buy zone, so selling this market is not recommended, but we should, I think, observe this market, because in a near future if we see this falling trend line breaking to the upside, it can offer you more opportunities to buy this market. Why I'm talking about buying this market? Because this is already at the lows of the trading range. The trading range here is approximately from 8277 to 9277 or 9299 region. So this trading range, if you want to make use of this, then breaking higher here means that the price has taken support here, and still we will have a good risk to reward ratio if you want to trade. And if you really want to wait, then maybe wait for 0.8277, because if you open a position here and if you take a small risk by keeping a stop loss below this one, then also it will be a good risk to reward ratio. Even if you fail in this trade, I think it is worth taking once the price goes close to 0.8277. Talking about the gold, no surprises here after a candle closed on Thursday below the support zone of 1756 or 1753 area. We have two markers here, 1753 and 1756. So these two are now resistance or zones of resistance. The price has been trading below this for most of the day's time. I'll switch to 4 hours. Right now the price is trading below it, okay, and once it started going higher, but these supports here at the lows of these two candles provided resistance and sent the price back down here. So I am expecting the price to meet this falling trend line and get rejected very badly, and if that happens, then we can see 1729 and maybe 1670 in this market. On the contrary, if the candle is able to close the day higher than 1756, we can witness 1780 again in this market. Talking about Gbp Jpy, again no surprises here, but the Gbp Jpy is right now into the zone of resistance, which extends all the way to 152.66. so this is a zone of resistance where the price is right now, although this recovery here from bearish to bullish is almost of V shape. So I'm expecting the price to actually go higher, maybe to 152.66 and even break that and go to 153.44 in this market, which is also the trading range. And in case that happens, then it will be a double bottom breakout already, and we can expect further profits or further gains in this market. Right now the resistance is at around 152.19 and the support is at around 151.49 in this market. CHF JPY, I'm not very bullish in this one, but okay, there are two things actually in this one that I want to talk about. One thing is that there is a falling trend line which has been broken today, one thing. Second thing is that the price broke below this triangle, and we are expecting this area to act as a resistance, but it did not act as a resistance. Now what is the reason why it did not happen? Because mostly once the resistance or the support is broken, it becomes resistance, and once the resistance is broken, it becomes support. Why? I want to explain it to you. On the daily chart it may not be visible, but when you switch to the weekly charts, you will see that once the price had cleared this area, this range, this resistance area, if I draw it with the rectangles, you see this was the area of resistance in the past. If I extend it further down to this area, then this was the area of resistance which price was not able to break. But once the price broke above this, it went all the way up to 122, but has never been able to test this level. And today or last Friday, when the price came down to this level to test it as a fresh support, we got a bullish engulfing candle at weekly on this support region, which is trying to send us a signal that the price is going to test 122.53 once again. I hope you got the point that bearish engulfing candle on the weekly means a huge thing. That means now we are going to test 120.54, 121.16 and 122.53 in this market. But looking at the price where the market is trading right now, 119.96 is the immediate resistance and 119.68 is the immediate support for the market. Talking about the euro against the Australian dollar, dollar seems to be like picking up against the US dollar, so that's why euro is still weak against US dollar. So maybe this is the reason why we are looking at the lower prices here in the euro against the US dollar. Now the key thing here is that if we see a close below 1.6080, it will open the ways for 1.5975 in this market. All right now 1.6080 is the resistance for this market and 1.5975 is the support. Talking about euro New Zealand, now here we have a doji on the daily candle, which is an inside bar also of the yesterday. So there's no trade in this market. I'll say stay away from this market, which is not going in any direction. So yeah, stay away from this market. Do not open any fresh positions in this one. But if you are already short in this one, make sure that you keep your stop loss above 1.6774 on the daily closing basis. If a candle closes higher than this, it will open the way for 1.7122 again. So maybe you should keep your position or your stop loss here almost 5 to 10 pips above this 1.6775 region. Talking about XAG USD, here silver is trying to consolidate between 22.86 and 22.06. So if it closes below 22.06, next level to watch will be 21.11, and if it closes the day higher than that, then 23.84 will be the next level to watch. Nothing new on the silver right now, it is still consolidating. Talking about the Swiss index, no surprises here. We saw a close below. We said that it is possible to go and retest this area, although it did not retest that area, but somehow it moved a bit to the upside and then eventually broke lower, and now the price is at around 11,687, and what we are expecting in this one is actually 11,277. If my friend Damien is watching this, then my friend 11,277 is a special price area. It is also 61.8% of this previous rise, and it has been a very good resistance for so many years in the past. So this level here may be a very good buying area because it has not been retested once, not even once. So if you see a buying opportunity at around 11,277, you should utilize that opportunity with a small stop loss below and look for the take profit target of minimum 12,572 in this market. So after that, talking about the Euro CHF, I have become bearish now after closing the day below 1.0840. Although today the price went higher but failed to go higher than the Friday's candle, and now it is trying to give us a bearish pin bar on the daily. So if it does, then 1.0756 will be the next level that we have to keep an eye on. On the higher side, 1.0840 will start acting as the fresh resistance. This is the last pair that we are going to talk about in the forex. This is Gbpchf. Although we can see higher wicks in this market, but I'm still bullish, and I think 1.2802 is supposed to be tested before we see any further movement up or down. And if we close higher than 1.2802, then 1.2857 will be acting as a resistance. And on the lower side, if we start closing to 1.2632, it will offer us some support. And if the 1.2632 is broken on the daily closing basis, then it will start giving the way to 1.2550 and 1.2503 in this market. So the last thing that we are going to discuss today is the Bitcoin. Like I said, that there has been a head and shoulder breakdown. Of course, there is a psychological effect on people when they think that the Bitcoin is falling. They tend to give up their positions and hand short, but when they see that any technically good level is approached, they look for buying opportunities. Like here, this resistance was broken, and now when the price tested this area, it started attracting fresh buyers. And see how these candlesticks here, I will just remove this rectangle to show you a clear vision. See how this how these candlesticks started attracting buyers in this area of 41,264. But my friend, this line here at around 43,917 is a neckline of this head and shoulder pattern. So every time the price goes here, it will attract fresh sellers, and they are emerging. Actually, there are now short sellers here in 43,917 area. Why I'm saying it so confidence? Because once the price gives you a bullish pin bar on 4 hourly, it should follow up and the price should go back to 46,289. But here it seems like the sellers know that all these buyers in this candlestick have their stop losses below the low of this candle here at around 42,580 region. So they're trying to push their short positions so much that their stop losses are taken away. Now the stop losses in a buy position is a sell order. So if a lot of sell orders emerge, they may go to test 41,264, and if we see a closing below 41,264, that will mean that the price is going to act to 33385 region, which we were talking about on our Friday's webinar or Friday session about this. So I hope you all got the idea what is going to happen. 43,917 is the immediate resistance for the Bitcoin. 41,264 is the immediate support for the Bitcoin. I hope you got the idea. Now, I hope you got some idea about the support and the resistance levels that are of interest in the coming hours and days. Please keep in mind to not risk more than 1% of your capital on any single trade, and look for a potential profit of more than 3 times the risk that you're going to take. Adjust your position size in such a way that if your stop loss gets triggered, you should not lose more than 1% of your capital on that trade. Now with this note, I shall end this video. Please press the like button if you find this video useful for you. Leave your suggestions in the comment section. Share it with your friends if you think it is worth. And yeah, consider for subscribing to our channel if you are new for more such videos. Also, you can join the Gbpchf Forex community. The links are there in the description. Like us on the Facebook. I wish you and your family a very happy and profitable day. Thank you very much for sparing your time to watch this video.